Raina Mermaid here today. Welcome to So You Want to Be a Mermaid. On today's episode, we're talking about monofins for kids and youth. I'm going to show you some of the ones I have. We're going to do a different video on monofins for adults and monofins for mermaid use, okay? So this one is just for kids and youth. So if you have kids or teenagers and you want to sort of get an idea of what's a good monofin for them, or maybe you want to do a mermaid school, or maybe you want to do mermaid workshops, or maybe you're somebody with really tiny feet. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So I've got a couple here that I'm going to show you, and I'm just going to tell you the pros and cons, and I'm going to talk a little bit about my experience with some of these. And before we get started, I just wanted to ask you in the comments, I'm thinking about changing my hair. It's been a while. It's getting longer, as you can see, and I'm sort of thinking of like going back to red because I miss it, and I've got a good system with the wig where the hair's not really getting wet. And I'm kind of like testing out the side bang thing because like the forward bang is always like, I got a cowlick here. I don't know if you guys call it that outside of Canada, but that's what we call it. So I don't know, like, what do you think? Side bang, front bangs, red hair, brown hair? Haven't dyed my hair in years. This is just what the chlorine does to it. So it's a little messy right now too because I'm going free diving and I don't want to wash it until afterwards. Alright, so yeah, just tell me in the comments what you think about that. And today we're going to talk about some of these amazing fins. I think we're going to start with Fin Fun. So Fin Fun really got the market going for kids. This is a Fin Fun monofin, and Fin Fun tails go over top of them. Some of the pros are that they are really easy to use, really easy to learn on. They're not that very expensive. They're pretty lightweight, easy to store. If you break one, it's not that hard to replace it, okay? And Fin Fun has been leading the way with safety stuff for kids learning to swim. They are so proactive about safety. They have a ton of resources on their website. They're always doing press releases and doing all kinds of stuff. And you know, for MERS on a budget, this is a good thing. And if you're looking at doing like a mermaid school or something, they will give you a bulk order discount if you contact them. And it'll be great for your mermaid school because then you don't have to pay full price for every individual tail. If you're going to get 10, they can give you a little discount type of deal. And we use these in our mermaid school for the 10 years and up stage. And sometimes we use them for younger kids if they're really struggling to use a regular monofin. I find this is a really easy way to learn. So those are the pros. Some of the cons are just kind of obvious, and it's sort of like, you know, if you want a budget mermaid fin, this is what you're getting. But it's not like a regular monofin, okay? It's just a piece of plastic with a little bit of neoprene over top of it, so it can snap, but thankfully it's not that expensive to replace. It doesn't have the same kind of system for putting it on your feet as other monofins do, but again, it's just meant to be simple for kids, right? And, you know, higher up mermaids are going to be like, well, it's not very realistic, but, you know, it's meant for kids. So it's great for adults who want to get to learn to use it as well. I taught my 71-year-old mother-in-law how to use a mermaid monofin by starting her off with Fin Fun, and she did a really cute photo shoot and swim at 71 years old in the ocean in a Fin Fun tail. So proud of her. Some of the features of these fins. This is a junior. This is a monofin pro. Some older children may find they need to use the bigger one because their feet just may be too big. And both have safety information on the front and their website, and you can see the size difference here. Like I said, it is a neoprene sleeve, and they've got extra padding on the tips, but I will say over time, sometimes they poke through the tails, and it's just sort of normal wear and tear. And Fin Fun is constantly innovating, trying to come up with new ways to change that. So even with this fin, that has actually changed since its model. So if you look on their website, they've changed slightly to try to make it better. And there's a lot of knockoffs of Fin Fun around, but remember, Fin Fun are the one that started it all and innovated it and got it going, okay? Little foot strappies, not here. Instead, we have little foot sockies, which can be tricky to get on. It's kind of tight because it's meant to be tight around your ankle, and I always tell the kids, put one fin in first and then put the other in and then pull it up behind your ankles, and it's usually pretty comfortable. Your feet do move around a little bit inside, and the way that I suggest kids put these on is that they actually take the tail. So here's the Fin Fun tail. actually they should put the tail on first, like a skirt. And you'll see that the bottom is open. If you've never used one of these before, the bottom is open. It's not very noticeable when you're swimming, and it's good for letting the water go through, but it's also good for making it easier to get on. So once they have it on like a skirt, they can walk to the water's edge and sit down. I'm always telling kids, do not stand and hop in your tail. Put the monofin on next to the water. And then while they have this rolled up on their knees, then they can put their feet in the fin, and then, only then, can they pull this down and cover the fin, okay? And this is a small one, so it's going to be giant on here, but just so you can see. There you go, right? This is a small one. You put the big one in. But I just did the small one so I could show you quickly. So they're great for that. Safety-wise, for trying to get them off, it takes a little bit of practice, as it does with any monofin ever, so it's good to have kids practice. Remember, these are not flotation devices. They will not make your kid sink, but your kid does need to learn how to use it before like diving in. You need to be supervising them in the water with them, making sure they can do things like a front crawl, they can back float, different recovery positions. Anytime you're gonna use a monofin or a tail for a kid, that has to be done. There is cat fur everywhere in my apartment because Pinky is shedding worse than anybody, so if I keep rubbing my nose through the whole video, I'm not going to take a bunch of takes because of cat hair. Okay, so that's been fun. That's been fun, sort of kicked things off for us. But Finis has always been around. Finis mainly make adult monofins and adult swimming products, but they did branch out several years ago into kids and teens. So this is one of the original models, and they've changed very, very slightly since this has come out, but not too much. And as you can see, the main feature is this mermaid shaped fin, and this design can be a little problematic because they'll split down here. Anytime you've got a cut like that, it can split, and if you're thinking of cutting your own monofin, you do not want to put a cut like this. You want to give it more of a crescent shape because this becomes a stress point. So when I bought a bunch of these to try for mermaid school, that's what happened. They all started breaking down there. They're also much pointier here. There's no softness, so again, this can poke through the tails. They do have grips on the bottom and safety information and the website, which is great. You can do that. For kids to put their feet in, it's 2 foot pockets, and I'm not a fan of this foot pocket system at all for anybody. Not just kids, but adults. It's one single strap that goes behind. This one is fabric with a little bit of Velcro on it, and I think they've upgraded some of them to be rubber now, but they just don't stay on. The big fear is that kids are not going to be able to get these off fast enough in emergency. Let me tell you, they just get them off by accident constantly. And when I was running mermaid school, I would spend all of my time having to put these back on their feet, and even the kids, like we try to teach the kids to be independent and flip them back up on their feet on their own, but it would happen so constantly that it took the fun out of swimming. And I think it's just like, they're meant to be adjustable in size, but really you kind of have to be the ideal size for it to fit you properly and not drive you up the wall. I also find them really uncomfortable, so that's just me. I think, again, if you're looking for a budget monofin, it's a good place to start. I just don't think it's the best on the market, but you know, it's not the end of the world. I do think if you're going to run something like a mermaid school, you're going to want something a little more durable, it's going to last longer, fit more people, and you're not going to spend the entire time taking it off their feet. Finis, I never know how to say it, have also created this Aquarius line, and the Aquarius line is for kids and teens and adults, and this is an adult one. And as you can see, not too big of a difference between the little kid one and the big kid one, okay? We still have those grips on the bottom, we still have the same foot pocket system. Oops, turn it that way. And instead of Velcro, this time we have rubber. And one thing I do find frustrating about both of these fins is actually the hooks on the side that are meant to be for safety so that you can pull them out really quick are really impossible to use. And once you get this piece of Velcro out, it's really hard to get it back in. So if a kid knocks it out while they're swimming, or pulls it or something, or is trying to adjust the size and it comes off, they also break really easy, whatever type of plastic that is. So again, we've kind of upgraded on this one. This one is a bit more like an adult monofin. It's an actual hook, so you can unhook it, which is a good safety feature. And again, having the one strap, I guess it could be a safety feature, and then it's a bit easier to get it off your heels. But again, I just find it falls off all the time. I don't like the little toe holes. Some people like them. I don't like having my toes poked through. I find that I get blisters easily from that. It's a bit more comfortable. This one I find collapses a lot. This one doesn't. It's sturdier. Aesthetic wise, it's really pretty, and we went with the crescent shape here instead. We've got nice water channels. They're pretty colors. And a lot of companies make fabric tails that fit these two fins. So one of the companies is Mertailor, and I gotta say his fabric tails are gorgeous, and I'll be doing videos on them. And it's sort of the same premise as Fin Fun. You just put it on like a skirt, and then instead of having the front open, the side is actually open with a zipper so that you can put your monofin in and get it in easier, and then this would just cover the monofin and it fits it. So he has a whole line of tails that fit with this Aquarius. So again, like this is not, it's not my favorite. I would just rather skip this and go to a regular monofin and maybe cut it myself for a shape, because I would find it more comfortable and more functional. But if you're on a budget and you want that mermaidy look, it's still good enough. Now I will say that for this next one, I'm a bit biased. I really liked these ones so much when I tested, because I tested Fin Fun, I tested Finis, and I tested this next one for my mermaid school. And this one just performed the best with Fin Fun coming in as a quick second. These are Mermaid Linden's Body Glove Monofins, and I love them for so many reasons. Let me tell you the difference. This is a first generation one, so she has a second generation one out now that has some improvements to it. You'll have to check her out. You can get them on Amazon Prime. We have these nice rubber tops, which give you a lot of flow, but then the monofin itself is nice stiff plastic, so you still get that good kick, but then you get this nice little bit of floppiness too, and it lasts a bit longer in the fabric tail. Like all the other ones, we have grips on the bottom, but we actually have drainage holes in this one, so we have a little less drag because the water that's going in the feet is actually coming out. And you'll see that there are these nice rivets here that help that water move along as well for nice water channels. We have safety info on the bottom, just like the others do. Now here's where I like this one the best for kids. The straps are the closest thing you're gonna get to what adults use. So if you have a kid who's trying to learn to use a monofin or wants to be a mermaid, this is the best to go with because it's most accurate to what actual monofins and freedivers use. Again, we have those straps on the side that come off really easy. We also have a strap in the center, which is very much like adult monofins and comes off very easy. And then she also has these little tabs on the back that make it easy for pulling your heel out. So you just grab the little tab and you can pull it back around your heel. It does adjust with Velcro just like the others for different sizes. It is 2 individual foot pockets, and I find that your toe gets into a better point with this one than it does with the others. And to make it last longer and fit longer, it has these great foam inserts inside, which Linden innovated this, even though another company copied her after the fact. These great little inserts, they make it really comfy for little feet. This can fit up to a women's size 8. Keep on adjusting. I wouldn't suggest it for adults. Some adults try it, but you want something proportionate to your body when you're going to be swimming. And this is sort of small for like an adult. Maybe someone who's like under 5 feet could get away with it. But if you're more than 5 feet, I would wait until she puts out her adult line, and then you'll have something that's great. I just love these so much. They perform better, they last longer, they're safer in my opinion, they don't fall off their feet. This is why I chose to go with this one for my mermaid school, because I just found it made way more sense. But that's just me. They're all very similar in price. These are available on Amazon Prime. I think all of them are available on Amazon Prime or directly from the manufacturers as well. And then sometimes you have kids that are just really tall or a lot bigger, and they're just not going to fit in those kids' versions. So the best thing to do is Finis has several starter monofins, such as this is the Rapid, because I have big feet, so I'm going to do the Rapid. The Wave is the next size down from this, and it fits like up to a size 7 or 8 comfortably, and this one fits up to like a 9 or 10 women's comfortably, and it also can fit men. And again, this is an actual monofin, you know. It's got the 2 straps, it's got all the safety things in the middle, and you can see that Linden's is closer in reality to what an actual monofin is like, whereas their kids' versions are quite different, right? Especially this one. It's just so different to me. It blows my mind that they're that different. Yeah, so you've got the nice comfy feet. Again, your toes come out, which can kind of be a pain sometimes. Some people like it, some people don't. You've got the channels, you've got the safety stuff. They can fit you for a long time. You've got the grips on the back. And remember, if you're going to cut a monofin, you want to make sure it's in a crescent shape so it's not going to split down the middle. Venice also has the foil, the shooter. Those are really good for starting, but they're a little bit more pricier. I think this one was like $100 or so compared to like 75 for the model before it and like 50 for the kids. But I mean, great for a teenager, great for using in a pool. This one you can probably do in like shallow ocean or lake. I wouldn't really go out with like intense currents with it. It's not meant to be like a intense monofin for freediving, but it's great for training. And you can put them in a tail, but they're a bit bulky. People tend to go for the foil or the competitor for the tails. There's a lot of different ways that you can get kids' tails too. Like I said, those ones have their own tails. Body Glove has their own line of tails. And then a lot of people just make tails online. This is one that I got off of Amazon. And it's just like a kid's, check it out, kind of a knockoff of Fin Fun. Open bottom, right? And it also came with a cute little bikini for the kid. So that's pretty cute. So I'm going to do a separate video for adult monofins, and I just need to get a little bit more footage because we did do a published study at Dalhousie University using the adult monofins and using them inside tails. So I'm going to do a little video about that and talk about the differences that I experienced with that. And I just want to let you know that there's constantly sales on for my books. These are 2 of them. This is the first one, which is having a birthday soon. This is the third one, which is having a birthday soon too. I can't believe it's actually almost been a year. We've almost sold 1,000 books. That's really crazy. Thank you everyone who's been supporting me. I hope these books are helping you. Be sure to check out makemeamermaid.com. That's where you can find all my books, my videos, my resources. But if you also check out my Facebook page, Learn to be a Professional Mermaid, that is where I post the discount codes. The publisher has discounts all the time. Don't pay full price if you're going to buy a paperback. Just wait and see. The books do take a little longer to get to you because I print on demand to save paper, or you can also go with an ebook, which saves trees all around, which I am a big fan of. I have a whole bunch more videos that are going to be done soon. Like I said, I'm going to do that monofin one. We're going to have a video review of my mertailor tail soon. I have a crazy summer, which I'll save talking about that in another video. But yeah, this is just my little intro to kids and youth monofins. I hope it helped you out a little bit. Come back for the adult version. And that sounds bad when I say it like that, the adult version. But you know what I mean, right? Thank you for checking out my videos. Thank you for all your support. Best